Hey guys, I'm going to make some pumpkin spice truffles today, and these are recommended by Jessica M. From YouTube, so thank you for recommending them. They sound delicious. Just look at my recipe book if you're wondering what I'm looking at. So what you need is an entire package of the Golden Oreos, which are my favorite Oreos anyway. I love these things. The vanilla flavor, I love them. So you need Golden Oreos. You need 6 ounces of cream cheese, so I'll cut some of this off because it's an 8-ounce package, and you want that to be softened, so leave it out at room temperature. You need half a cup of canned pumpkin, and not the pumpkin pie mix, just the regular pumpkin. Half a cup, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then you need some white chocolate dip stuff. We got a couple different kinds. We got Almond Bark, which is what we bought at Walmart. And then we've got the Kroger brand vanilla candy coating, which we're assuming that's the same thing. Kroger actually didn't sell the Almond Bark, which surprised us, and we thought that was a pretty common baking brand, but they didn't sell it. They only had this. So that's what you need. I've got my food processor out. If you don't have a food processor, excuse me, you can crush them up with a rolling pin and put them in a Ziploc bag and leave a little vent in them and crush them up with a rolling pin. That works too. But I didn't get my blade out. Let me get my blade and I'll put my cookies in there. Okay, I've got my food processor here. I've got my cookies opened up. I actually have the blade in there now, so it'll actually work. And you literally just, if you've got a good sized food processor, you can literally just throw these all in there. If you don't have one, if you got a smaller one, just do a few cookies at a time. And I'll actually take these crushed cookies out and put them in my mixer. And I'm going to mix them in the mixer. I'm not going to do anything. I'm sure there's a way to do it all in here, but I've never used it like that, so I'm not going to do it that way. All right, I'm going to use pulse and just pulse them. So this will be a little noisy. I'm not going to say anything else, but I'm trying to get a crumbly texture, almost like a graham cracker kind of texture. So that's where I'm going for. Still see some pieces in there. Yeah, just look, literally one Oreo has survived.
Just putting up a fight, yeah.
Isn't that hilarious? I'm gonna shove you down in there. That way you'll be able to survive. Yeah, it says no, not me. Still see it flying around in there. I might just have to eat it.
It's meant to be.
Okay. So I'm going to take this and put it in my mixer. Okay, I've got all my crumbs in the bowl, and you can see it's about the texture of, should have left that up just so you can see. It's about the texture of graham cracker crumbs. If you ever bought graham cracker crumbs in a box, that's about the texture of them. Cornmeal breading for fish, something like that. Just kind of a rough ground texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cream cheese in here. And actually, I'm going to put a pumpkin in here. Should raise that up, huh? I got it all. And put my cream cheese in here. And again, it's 6 ounces of cream cheese, softened. And while that's mixing, I'm going to put my half a teaspoon of cinnamon in there. And that's pretty much just going to go. I'm going to leave it on low till it kind of gets everything mixed up, and then I'll put it on a little bit higher speed so it gets it all mixed together. And then what I'm going to do, once it gets all mixed up and it's all, looks like it's well combined, you refrigerate it for an hour. So that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, this is what it looks like right before I put it in the refrigerator. You can see it's pretty sticky and dough-like, but it's not really runny, so it should be a little thick. And the refrigerator will help firm up some of that cream cheese, and then we'll basically what we're going to do is put it, make it in ball form, and dip it in that white chocolate or the candy coating. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this in the refrigerator for an hour, and then you'll see it when I take it out and get it in the balls. We needed 16 ounces, and this happens to be 16 ounces, so I'm just going to use just the Kroger brand and save the other one for another project. So I busted this up. I kind of broke it against the counter and tapped it and beat it and broke it. And hopefully it's kind of gotten the chunks out. I will get it open.
What scissors?
Nah, I got two. There they are, and I'm just going to literally put them in a pan. I'm using a smaller pan because I've done this before in a bigger pan, and it really gets really thin in there, and you really can't stir it up very well. So I'm going to use a smaller pan, and I'm going to put it on low, and basically just stir it up a little bit until it gets good and melted. And you don't want to overcook it, because if you overcook it, it gets scorched and burnt and really thick and goopy, so you don't want to do that. So just stir it up a little bit as it goes, as it warms up, and once it gets fully melted, I'll get the pumpkin stuff out and start putting it in balls. All right, I've got my it's not really chocolate, it's just like a candy coating. It's all melted, and what I'm going to do is I've got my pumpkin mixture out of the refrigerator, and I'm going to use a cookie scoop and just basically drop them in. Didn't need to do the fork. And they're still a little soft, so they're not. It's not like they're hard as a brick or anything. The pumpkin. I wonder if you could have stuck them in the freezer if it would have made them better. I don't know, but it's working. It's not goopy or falling apart at least. See what I mean about see how soft they get? So, anyway, I'm going to keep doing this. Basically just going to fill this pan up and get as many as I can out of here. And I'll show you what they look like when they're all done. They're done. And some of them look nice, some of them don't. These over here were the ones I did first, and they look pretty good. They're pretty decent white. The mixture is still a little softer or goopier than I would expect. Maybe they put in the freezer so they're frozen instead of just thick. I don't know. So if you pan over, they get progressively oranger until you get to the end. These are awful looking. You can see where all the pumpkin started getting mixed in with the white candy coating, and so they're turning orange. They're kind of goopy and globby. I don't know how you fix that. Maybe there is no fixing that. I don't know. So anyway. We're just going to let these sit out, let them cool off. You can put them in the refrigerator if you want to, but this coating will get hard on its own anyway. I mean, you can see they're already hard. So we might just taste one here in just a minute. But anyway, that's pretty much it. And just they're ready to eat.
Okay, we're going to try pumpkin truffle.
Not this one.
Yeah. And they're a good size.
Of course, I made cookie scoop. You can make them smaller.
I wonder if you made them smaller, if they'd be really hard.
Mm.
Mm.
The flavor is really, really good.
Wow.
I'm wondering, now that I made these, I wonder if there's some way to thicken up that center a little bit more, because they're really, squishy, I guess is the best word for it. They're really moist. They're very liquidy.
Well, it's supposed to be truffle.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see how they're very, very liquidy. The flavor is excellent. I love the flavor of them. But I'm wondering if there's some way of getting that a little thicker, not a lot, just a little bit thicker, to where they wouldn't be quite so goopy, and then it would be easier. Putting it in the candy coating and everything would be a little easier if it was a little thicker. I don't know.
It's delicious flavor though. Delicious. And
very rich.
I love the candy coating, of course. And this is the same thing you use on an Oreo ball.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just delicious candy coating. I mean, you could literally like melt that and lay it down on a cookie sheet and let it harden and just eat it because it's that good. But with the pumpkin, it's a really good combination of flavors that I like.
You know, that talking about the Oreo balls though, those don't get goopy and fall apart.
No, they don't. I wonder why. I wonder if you use less cream cheese. Well, see, that pumpkin is so liquidy, and you don't have all that.
You don't have that with the other one.
No, because the Oreo cookies it's all cookies.
Maybe it needs less cream cheese and same about pumpkin. I don't know. Anyway.
But they're good. They're really, really good.
Yeah, very rich.
Thank you, Jessica, very much for the recipe, and I will have to share this with my family.
Yeah, and experiment with doing other things to them.
Yeah.
Or if you've made them before, leave a comment down below and you can give us some hints on how you do it.
And to decorate them, just to close out to decorate them, it would be neat if you just sprinkled a little cinnamon or something nutmeg on the top or something, just to add a little bit of color to them.
That'd be neat.
You don't have to, but it would just add just that little bit of extra. So, but thanks for watching.